when I was in college, right, I started off as an engineering major, but then I took one random like art history class, and then I decided to become a fucking art major, graphic design major, whatever. But then I took a bunch of other art history classes within that field. It made me very like hyper aware of the way art progresses through time, and how like there's all these like historical art movements. They all like played a very important role, and they were all oftentimes like rebellious against the former standard of art. I try to do that a lot when I'm creating music. I think about where we are in terms of where art is or music is at this moment, and what would be like a logical progression of this style tomorrow or in the next year or so. So when I'm creating, I try to like incorporate a lot of things that I know people like about music, but try to like make it different and new enough so that it kind of like breaks the rules and tries to like pave a new lane at least a little bit. So I'll have like a very simple version of the beat made first. So I'll just have like a melody, maybe some bass, some drums on it, and then I'll just loop that for like 10 minutes, and then I'll just put on the auto tune on the right key, put my headphones on, and just start like humming melodies and trying to get some flows and stuff. And then I'll just do like fucking 5 takes of that, and then I'll start going through the freestyle takes with just flows and melodies, and I'll start cutting out parts that I really like, and I'll start organizing those parts. I'll start to find like the song structure. Like, this sounds like it could be an outro, this sounds like it could be a hook, this sounds like a verse. So I'll start organizing all those parts. I'll start writing to it after that, and then I'll get the song structure down, and then all I gotta figure out is what I want to be talking about, what I need to get off my fucking chest or whatever. This is the thing that I've been doing stylistically. I really like doing. It's been producing some really cool songs. Basically within that technique that I just mentioned, where I kind of just freestyle a bunch of different stuff, I realize like some of the melodies and stuff that I sing sound more like it could be like an ad lib, and some sound more like the main vocal. So I'll start layering. So I'll take like 2, 3, 4 different layers of vocals, I put them all on top of each other, and then I'll just like turn the reverb up on one of them and like turn the dry down on the same sound, and then I'll keep like the main vocal like dry higher, reverb lower, and then I'll have this cool thing where I get all these like layers of like different melodies that fit very cohesively together. And that's kind of what's happening here, and I can show you some more songs that I've been experimenting with this style with. See what I'm saying? I have this thing where I'm just saying like baby, and I got the I'm really ready for you, and then I got the ooh, and it's all just happening at the same time, but it's not clashing, you know? It's really like kind of like fitting together like a nice little puzzle piece. I'm getting a lot of like potential doors and opportunities to certain situations and places, and I want to like, if I'm gonna be at a place and I'm speaking to somebody about furthering my career, I want to have exactly the idea of what I'm trying to do and what it means, not just fucking just being like, hey, like I made some stuff, whatever. It's like no, it's like this is exactly what I'm trying to do. I think that also like maybe sell me better. This is what I plan to do, and I executed it this way, and it was all like intentional. I feel like that's a stronger selling point to maybe potentially potential investor, record label, whatever the fuck.
Are you creating for that opportunity, or you creating and these opportunities being present?
I think both in a lot of ways.
I don't even think that question made sense
I think
at all.
I think I know what you're saying. Is it a means to an end, or is that the end itself?
Perhaps.
It's definitely both, and I feel like at different times it's one more so than the other. You can't ignore the fact that you need to survive and you need to fucking eat. So you're gonna need to try to find a way to make this thing that you're trying to do sustainable.
But it's fun.
No, I mean it's more than fun. This is like that's my life, bro. I love this shit. Like
like you definitely do.
I'm obsessed with this. Want to hear some shit I made like today?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is like a pretty like complete idea, and it's it's going somewhere. I think this is a pretty cool sounding song. But I have obviously like a fucking ton of like first drafts for shit that probably might not go anywhere. I forgot what this sounds like already, but let's see what it sounds like. One of those vocal takes, I feel like I'm stealing the melody from another song, but I can't figure out what it is. You know, can you maybe figure it out? I'll show you the player visually. Yeah. What is that?
Fuck. Is it Nirvana?
Yeah, I think it is Nirvana. Fuck, you're right. I started singing it and I'm like, oh, I'm stealing this from somewhere. So I was trying to delete it and do something else, but fuck it. I don't mind also just like stealing a Nirvana melody, but that might be kind of tight. I forgot the name of it. I'm like proficient enough in Nirvana music to like fucking.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Should we look it up? Yeah, it smells like Teen Spirit.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, I think so. I'm a fucking asshole. Fuck it, I'm gonna steal the Nirvana melody. I feel like that shit might be a hit.
Imagine that like on a box of cigarettes. Spot on, right?
Yeah, man. It's good ear, bro.
But you theory, there's just so many combinations of like
you can't not steal.
Music theory that exists out there.
Speaking of, actually, the last song I was showing you, I think I slightly stole the melody from the Thong song.
You're like mad proud of that.
I think that's part of the reason why this song is good, because it's like a familiar thing, so people are gonna hear it and be like, oh, it's like, you know, does this sound like some random You hear it?
No, play the Thong song.
Yeah, this also wasn't intentional, but fuck it, who cares?
Let me see that thong.
Baby. So now I'm basically using that here. It's not super obvious on this one, at least. That thong, baby. And I'm saying, pull up on me only. It's not quite the same, but it's very similar. And that was unintentional, but I think it was like some subconscious. I was picking that out from like something I knew, you know.
How do you feel when you're on stage performing?
My top priority when I'm doing shows is to give a good show and have the people have a good time. It doesn't feel like it's about me. Yeah, I'm just like, I gotta give as much of myself to it and like make it as much of an emotional performance as I can, entertaining and fun, and, you know, sing well as best as I can, just so that people have a good time, because I want people to want to come to my shows. And then that's why I want some music that's like party music, so people can fucking jump around and dance at my shows. And I have my like softer mellow shit, people can just vibe and just have a good time. But I'm just trying to give the people an experience, but it doesn't
Word, people be moshing to your shit too.
But I'm trying to make some more like mosh worthy music, at least a couple songs. I don't need my whole discography to be like mosh shit, but I need a couple, because I fucking love moshing. I love artists who make mosh music.
Did you intentionally create for a mosh, or did the mosh just like grow on its own?
The main song that people mosh to is Toxic. It's like the guitar solo, which I feel like before my first performance, I did have that in mind, that that's gonna be a moment where people are gonna like turn the fuck up. It was kind of planned. It happened probably like better than expected. People really did turn the fuck up for that part, yeah.
A whole album where it's just like moshing, I guess, would be a little overdone, but it's nice to have like that one mosh track for sure.
Yeah. Something that I kind of like about my music is, like I mentioned earlier, I have like the different influences, and I'm kind of like dead set on combining my influences and trying to make something unique and new and fresh out of it. So I'm not like trying to copy anybody per se. I'm not trying to make a song that sounds just like an artist that I like, or just like a song that I like. Like, I'm obviously hugely influenced by hip hop, and like some of the first music I made ever was hip hop. So I'm always gonna retain like this hip hop element in a lot of my music, whether it's the drums or like the topics or like the delivery. But I'll do these things that sound more like they're indie or like pop or something like that. So my song might sound like it's not necessarily like a traditional hip hop song, but it's still gonna have like that hip hop element to it. For example, I have this song. And this one's still in a rough draft state where I don't have most of the lyrics in yet. It's mostly just mumbles, but you know, here you go. Exclusive preview. Fuck it. And here comes the vocal layering part type shit. What does this song make you think of? Like, does this remind you of anything like that? I'm curious.
For me, it's definitely got like that like space vibe, I guess everybody's trying to like go for whenever they create a song, but like this is neat. This is refreshingly spot on.
I feel like it reminds me of like, I can't tell exactly what I'm trying to say, but like something like 90s, like some fucking like Tarzan soundtrack type shit, you know?
When you said Tarzan, I was like, Phil Collins?
That's what I'm thinking. Almost like some Phil Collins shit, because it's just like, I mean, I was kind of, before I showed you this song, I was talking about like how my songs have like hip hop incorporated, but this is like probably like one of the least hip hop songs I have. There's like not much hip hop shit going on here. So this is another issue that I have. I have all these songs and I'm not sure how to release them. And I have like certain songs organized for like albums. I think like there's one in particular. That one is, I think, like pretty solid, and I think it might be its own project. Then I have these other two basically albums, but I feel like the algorithm really blesses singles. So I might just say fuck the albums and just drop all these songs as singles and just have like one song a week for like 30 weeks or something. I don't want to like be so dead set on releasing a song a week that I start to lack in quality. I don't mind just putting out like a beautiful album once in a while instead of just trying to pump out music on the weekly.
When was the last time you released something?
I think it was Water.
So it's almost been like 9 months since you released something. And even prior to that, you've been working on so many tracks. Like that album's been complete for like a minute and you're still completing tracks.
Oh yeah, I probably have like 50 songs.
I thought you'd have more. I feel like you have some shit that...
It depends on like what point in completion we're talking. Because if we're talking like...
so 50 complete?
50 like close to complete. Not really complete, but like I have probably more than that of like first draft like ideas. I probably have like 300 or something. It's like a sequence sound, so it has more than one note in it, so it made it easy for me to create a cool melody with it. So what I did with that is this. This kind of gave me the vibe of like, it's almost like, I named it originally After the Rain because it has like this vibe of like waking up in like this like fresh environment or something like that, you know? We made it through the hard parts and now it's like the beginning of like the good. I think when I was freestyling, I started to continue on that idea a bit, and I was saying like, when the mood's right, we dance until we fall. We ain't worried about who's right. Something else like, until the moonlight finds us on the floor. Some shit like that. We're just like, it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. But then I added these drums, which I'm probably gonna mess with a little bit more. But because I added a few extra drum hits since the original version. But is what the drums sound like. And I haven't even added like a bass to this yet, but I might not, because I've also been, I heard this, I don't know if I sent it to you, the song Okay by Casey.
No, I have not heard it.
Oh man, I gotta show you the song. I think it's really fucking cool. It's really weird in a way, because it's like this hip hop song, and this guy's vocal delivery is almost like resembling like Cardi a bit, but there's no drums on the song. And then like the hook is like this beautiful melodic vocal performance, but then the beat at that point is like a siren. It's like the siren that's just like changing fucking key. But I really liked how much I like this song and how like complete it sounds, but it doesn't have like what you would expect to have in a typical hip hop song, which is just like whatever 808 fast hi-hats, hard kick and some snare. So I just really I was like influenced by that, because I was like, this song, I think it goes crazy and it doesn't have drums basically.
Yeah.
So I was trying to like minimalize some of my songs, because I think a lot of songs that I like are also minimal, you know? I've realized that over time. It's like a lot of songs that I like a lot are like on the minimal side. I feel like that just resonates with me. So all I have here is a fucking synth and this drum pattern, and then there's vocals. I didn't do anything else to it. I got these vocal takes. So I have two. I think one of them is more of the dry sound without the effects on it, and the other one has the effects on it, so it layers nicely. Yeah, that's more of like the effect layer, I think, and then this is the regular one. Yeah, so I just put those two together. So I have like the dry, it's prominent, and then I have the effect layer too. And then that comes in here with like the hook. So I have a bunch of little ad-lib layers, and then the main vocals here.
Who's right? We dance until we fall, and we ain't worried about who's right. When the moonlight brings beyond the clouds.
I've been getting more familiar with what I'm capable of vocally. So like I realized I have like a pretty clean delivery with like this like kind of like low pitch for my range vocal, and then I have like a pretty cool delivery when I do like high shit with like what's the term for like singing high, falsetto, whatever. Well, I think like when I do falsetto with auto-tune, I put some effects on it, it sounds really nice. I've noticed that. So I kind of just combined both elements here. I did like a vocal delivery with just like kind of like my speaking voice in terms of range. I had some smooth calm vocal delivery on that range, and then I mixed it with like my falsetto with the effects on it. It comes out to this. I'll throw the beat on it with it this time, so you get a nice little understanding of what's going on. Done.
And that was Streamo's episode.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me. Peace.
That's what she said.
I guess that makes sense.